Welcome back to another episode of C. Sean's Scrapbook. Today we're going to talk about how to use the Project Life app to create a quilting effect. I've done another video on quote-unquote quilting with the Project Life app. I'll link that in the comments. But this time we're going to talk about creating a quilt look that has a half square triangle kind of a shape to it. So to start off, I'm going to go into the orange collage section of the app, and I'm going to choose a collage template that has two squares. We're just going to do this 4x6C. That's going to create the two patterned quilt square that we want to use in our page. So we're going to go into one here, select a card kit. This is always the part of the process that takes me the longest, is choosing a set to work with. I want two different yet complementary patterns. This one doesn't work for me right now. Let's go into, let's see, shouldn't be that hard. Let's try this fairground. It's got one that says popcorn cotton candy. That's kind of fun. And don't like mushrooms. Alright, didn't like that one either. Fine and dandy. We'll do that one. We'll do flowers and triangle. I kind of like that together. All right, so you choose your two patterned cards that you want to use, and I'm going to export this to my camera roll because I want to be able to manipulate it, so we're going to save it as a photo. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this out, pull up my page template that I want to use, and I want to use something that has square card slots. So I'm going to do this squared away 16 page template. I'm going to go into one of the squares, go in and pull in as a photo that two colored card that I created. Then I'm going to use Pick Tap Go to rotate this 45 degrees. So to do that, I'm going to click on this left kind of a settings button, and then click on Pick Tap Go. When Pick Tap Go launches, up near the logo at the top of the page, there's a little crop icon. I'm going to click on that. And then down here at the bottom, I've got options on the left here to crop or an option to rotate. I'm going to click on the rotation button there and then use this slider at the bottom to rotate my image 45 degrees. Then at the top right, tap apply and tap done. And it takes that rectangle shape and puts it into a square. So now I have my half square triangle shape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to repeat that process. So first of all, I'm going to stick all my images in here real quick. And then go into each one and just do that same process. Takes a little minute here to do all that. But you could, while you're doing this, you could create multiple different, two patterned pages, to create a more of a patchworky kind of a look to your page if you wanted. Maybe I'll just do one side for sake of time. And then what you can do is you can tap on each one of these, click that settings button on the left here again, and then just use the rotation button to rotate your squares here to get completely different kind of a pattern. And you can see how that would look really cool. What I really wish the Project Life had would, if you could tap on a square and then you could duplicate whatever's in that square, that would be super awesome. So, but unfortunately, it doesn't have that capability. But you can see how this can create a fun triangle shape to your Project Life page. Just add that quilting kind of a look to it. So maybe if you don't mind sitting around here watching me do this, I'll finish the rest of these squares. If you're done watching, click and go and watch a different video somewhere else. Otherwise, hang around and we'll finish this page here. 45 degrees. It's a nice feature that you can rotate. Images like this, it's kind of a... Oops, didn't want to do that. I wanted to go here. Do that. Alright, so let's take... I kind of like what I did over here on the left-hand side where the flower cards kind of create an arrow pointing inward. So if I repeat that, and rotate it till my triangle is pointing down. Oops, went too far. There we go. Then I'm going to have what I'm finished. Here's I'm going to have a kind of a star, kind of a quilting star, kind of a shape. So almost done here. Rotate. It's kind of a fun little different way of creating scrapbook patterns that you can use on your page. 2 more here. All right, let's go. All right, last one. So let's put these rotated. All right, so there you can see we've got kind of if you look at the whole page as a whole, you kind of got a star shape there with the red triangle pattern kind of creating that. And then each of my corners has the flowers pointing inward and the red triangle pointing outward. Kind of a fun shape there. Now for the middle, it's just one big square. Now you can use this to put a photo in there and then use freeform text to label it, or just put a photo by itself in there. If you want to also use that square to be kind of a quilt pattern, let's go out of here. You can pull up another template. You can use this design E that's 4 squares, and you can go in and we'll put that same pattern here in each of those squares. And then here we're also going to rotate to create kind of a pinwheel look. We're going to do the same thing, do 45-degree angle, go to this one, rotate it 45 degrees. Go to this one, rotate it as well, and the last one. Oops, rotate it up first. 45 degrees. All right, so then once you've got those 4 squares done, I'm going to leave the top top left one just like it was. I'm going to take this one and rotate it. No, one more time. I can't remember what. There we go. Took me a minute. I couldn't see the pinwheel pattern emerge. Oh, not that way. Huh. Kind of confusing myself how I. There we go. All right. I play with it long enough. No, not that way. There we've got a pinwheel pattern. Took me long enough. And then if we export this, save it to our camera roll as a photo, then we can go back to our original quilt, bring this pinwheel pattern in as one complete page into that circle slot, and then you can see we've got a cool quilt-like pattern. Now, what I also like that you can do is you can also change your background color to match. Now I gotta remember what the name of that kit was that I used. I think it was Fine and Dandy. And you can change your page background to whatever color you want that kind of corresponds and matches. So a fun way that you can do a different kind of quilting with a half square triangle. So this was kind of a rambling video, but hopefully you got an idea of something that you can do to create a fun, new, and different look to your scrapbook pages. Like I said, you could use this middle square just as something to put your photos in, or just fill it with a neutral colored card or just a plain colored card from your kit that still corresponds and matches. That doesn't really match very well. Oops. The pink matches better. You can just use that for journaling, or sometimes maybe you don't want to use two pattern cards. Maybe you want to use a pattern card and a solid colored card. That could create a fun little effect there. So just sharing that with you today, and hope you try it out and let me know how it works for you. Thanks.